Alright, YouTube. Vivid YouTube watcher. This is my first time to make a video, so let's be kind. Got no idea how to edit videos, so pretty much what goes on is exactly what's going to get posted. So let's get into it. What this video is going to be about is this 180-pound thrust trolling motor. And yes, I said 180. It's 48 volts. Brand name is Coroute. It came from China. It was about $1,400. And I wanted to do this video because when I was looking at it, I couldn't find a review one. There were some reviews from overseas, and of course they weren't in English, so I had no idea what they were saying, but I went ahead and bought it. I've been talking with a sales rep for this company that sells these. He was very helpful, he communicated a lot, helped me make my decision and going ahead and purchasing it. It had a year warranty, and believe it or not, when it came from overseas, it arrived in 5 days. I ordered it on a Friday and it came in the very following Friday. And I've ordered a lot of stuff from overseas, and that's the first time ever that something's came that quick. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth. The package arrived. I was ecstatic. I mean, I left work, I came home, I picked it up, I took it back to work. My boat right here was at work. My fishing partner who I work with, we took it out, we put it together, we put it on the boat, just to find out it would not work. Power came on, everything came on, but when you turned it in gear, nothing happened. So I got on the computer and sent a message in right away. We pulled out the manual, which is in English. I've got it right here. Let's see. It's not a big manual, but it does have pictures. Everything's in English. It has a bunch of safety features. We thought we may have done something wrong, hooked it up, just in the excitement, done something wrong, but we looked over, we didn't do anything wrong. In here, it says to open the head and make sure that everything is connected. When we opened the head, we found a loose wire. It is the main positive wire that runs down the shaft and into the foot. We noticed it was free. It wasn't hooked to nothing in the foot. So, you know, being that it was in the foot, I wasn't going to just tear into it. So I waited, got a response, explained to him what was wrong, sent him pictures. He sent me a very detailed chart on how to take it apart, what to do. I took it apart and I fixed it in 5 minutes. And I noticed something while I was inside the foot. Everything in this thing is a quick connect, which has its positive and it has its negatives. The good thing is when in the future parts go bad, you'll be able to buy separate parts and just quick connect them together and you're good to go. Bad thing is when they're manufacturing, things get unplugged. No big deal. You know, most people that work with this kind of stuff can fix it. That wasn't an issue. So I got it all taken apart, put back together in less than 10 minutes. Put it on the boat. It's good to go. It was working. So I went to bed, took it out on the water the next day. And this boat is rigged up for trolling motors only. It's a 90s model tracker, 17 foot. Before I got this motor, I had a 55-pound thrust, 24 volt motor guide brute on the front, and a 24 volt, 86 pound overseas trolling motor that I got for $140 on the back. I was running 4.2 miles an hour. I was about the third fastest in the Big Bass No Gas tour that I fish every week. It got me by, but I just, you know, when you're fishing watershed lakes, and a lot of these man-made watershed lakes have one great spot, it's kind of whoever has the fastest boat gets there. So I told myself, you know, when season ended, I was going to look and I was going to search and I was going to try to find something to make me faster. So I upgraded my front to a 70 pound 24 volt and put this one on the back. Well, when I took it out on the lake, I had real high expectations. The guy I talked to, I gave him, you know, rough weight of my boat, the design. He expected me around 10 miles an hour. I mean, I had high expectations. But they ended quick. When I put it on the water, it was a very rough day, had a lot of wind. I achieved 5.7 in the wind, which is, that speed alone makes me the fastest boat in my tournament. So, but at $1,400 I was expecting more. Then when I turned around and came with the wind in my back, I was at 6.3, which, I don't know, 6.3 in a boat with only trolling motors feels very fast. I mean, I am moving a lot of water. I ran it for a good hour. It held up good on the batteries. Everything held up great. When I got home and I took it off, I noticed right down here on my transom where my old motor used to sit for this boat. Right here where I had it mounted, it was ripping a hole in it. This motor has an extreme amount of powder, and so I knew I was gonna have to do something different. So I went to work. I put a steel plate right here on the back, and I also custom made, I guess you would call it, it's kind of like a jack plate for a trolling motor. It's just a bracket right off the back, all thick angle iron, and this seems to be working great. And it's also allowing me to be able to lift the trolling motor higher than I could before. You know, with it mounted right here on the back, when I'd lift it up as high as I wanted, the foot was hitting the boat, and that's not good for the boat or the trolling motor. So I knew I had to do something different, and this bracket right here has made a world of difference. I mean, I can raise that motor right up to the bottom of the boat and achieve the best speeds I possibly can. So after we built this jack plate, put it on, we took it out that very same day, and we got speeds in a calm right around 6, which is, that's fast. I mean, it's not 10 like I was hoping, but 6 miles an hour in a trolling motorboat is fast. I honestly don't think there's anything on the market that's going to get me faster speeds, because this boat is ready to be on plane. And without a motor putting it on plane, it's not going to get any faster. I mean, I'm moving so much water. This motor has so much power. I mean, it was trying to rip the back off this boat. It had so much power. So I took the risk. I bought the motor, and so far it's paying off. I mean, this thing seems like it's going to be great. The guys overseas, they're communicating with me daily. I promised them this review video, hoping to get them some sales in the U.S. I mean, it's not just the motor itself, the quality all the way around. I mean, I'm not afraid at all to drive down the road with this attached to the back. This bracket is thick. I mean, it's a plastic material. but it feels just like metal. I mean, it is so strong. This is a solid stainless steel shaft, so it is not going to bend. There is one review out there on Amazon, I think it is, where a guy had a problem with a shaft. And if there's any way you had problems with a stainless steel shaft, it's because you broke it yourself. So, I mean, common sense, lifting it up when you pull your boat out of the water, you're not going to break this shaft. So, I know just seeing it in here in the garage isn't nothing compared to seeing it out in the water. And here where I live, it was 70 degrees today. It's going to be a high in the 40 tomorrow with rain. But Sunday, it's going to be back up in the mid-60s. Me and my partner, we're pre-fishing a tournament that we've got Monday. And we're going out to the lake Sunday, and we're going to pre-fish, and we're going to record in action this motor on the water, so you can see how much water it's pushing. You can see the power it's putting off. Another great feature, it has a quick connect. So rather than having to hook it up, lift your lid, hook it up to your batteries, it has this quick connect that you can leave hooked up all the time. And then when you're ready, you get out on the water. It plugs right in. And I don't know if you've heard it, but it powered up. Up here on the top, it has an LCD display of your voltage. Right there, 48 volt coroute. It's 48 volts. I'll just go ahead and let you look inside here where I've got my batteries. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my accessories battery, and then there's a battery there for the front. Let's say you forget to have it in zero when you plug it in. This motor will not start. It's one of the safety features that, if you're standing here right next to it, if you plug that in and it was on, it would cut your leg off. I mean, it has that much force. So they added that feature to where it gives off a series of tones, giving you the warning that you need to back up, or you need to correct it. I mean, while I got it here plugged in, I'll go ahead and kick it on. I know that ain't going to be able to tell you nothing, but it has forward. That's minimum speed. And it just slowly revs up. I mean, it's blowing leaves around. Has forward and reverse. Of course, dual locks. One for the left and right, one for the up and down. It's got tilt. Once it locks in, it's staying in, it ain't moving. So, all in all, if you're considering a trolling motor 4-speed, this is the way to go. They do have several other options. I mean, they've got a 120, 24 volt. They've got 160 in a 36 or a 48 volt. They have this one that I think you can get in a 36 volt. I'm not sure, but they only sell on Amazon and eBay right now. They do have a website that you can go on and read the all the input and output power on it. This is a brushless motor as well, so it puts off a lot of power, and with it being brushless, I think it's going to last a lot longer than a traditional brush trolling motor. But the website is www.coroute.outdoor.com. It'll get you in contact if you want to talk to somebody. The person I've been talking to goes by Jane, and he's been real. You got to remember time difference. It takes them at least 12 hours to get in touch with you, but they will respond. if you've got any questions. When you're looking at the stats, they offer some speed stats, and these are for sailboats. So you have to remember, if you're putting it on a bass boat, you're not going to achieve the speed of a sailboat, because a sailboat sits in the water different compared to a bass boat. So, and that's where I screwed up, expecting more speed than I got. When you think about it, a sailboat is designed to move off wind, so their hulls, their design is different, and they sit higher up on the water than a traditional bass boat. But if, let's say you've got a small 14-foot flat bottom, I think if the back of your boat can hold it, it'll push you big time. So, I hope this helps, because that was the first thing I did when I seen the motor. I went straight to YouTube looking for somebody that maybe had purchased one, but I couldn't find a single video on it. As far as I know, this is the biggest trolling motor you can buy, period. I know Riptide makes some pretty big ones, but I don't think they make one this big. And but just keep on the lookout. Here in a few days, I am going to post a video with it on the water. And those speeds I gave off, that's with me being 180 pounds. My partner's about 250, 260, so that's a lot of weight, with just in two guys. So, just check back, and I should have that video posted pretty soon of, what it looks like on the water. That way you can kind of see it in action. If you're in the market to purchase one, you'll be able to kind of see it firsthand before you buy it. But I guess that's about all I can say for now. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment. I'll try to answer any specific questions I can. If I can't answer it, I'll try to find you an answer. I do have a Facebook page, Baker's Custom Baits. I paint crankbaits as well, make jigs, all kinds of things. So if you want to get on there and get in touch with me about this motor, or maybe you want some crankbaits painted, we can do that as well. So I guess that's about it. So.